70% of Minnesota college students graduate with some sort of debt.
New numbers out today show they owe more than $30,000 on average. That is the fifth highest in the country. So can you borrow too much for your education? Good question. Here's Heather Brown.
How much debt do you have?
$28,000.
Enough to make it uncomfortable some days.
How long is it going to take you to pay this all off?
Hopefully before I die.
Oh, goodness. If you decide you want to be a high school science teacher, should you take out $60,000 in loans?
Yes and no.
Ron Ramsdell is the founder of College Aid Consulting Services.
Can you borrow too much?
Most definitely, yes. And the key there is families need to plan ahead.
He says families need to take into consideration the real cost of college, how much you can get in scholarships, how much parents can and will help,
How much assets or help from other family members, grandparents and such.
and how much you'll make in your first job.
I was a history major who works as an accountant now, so life has twists and turns.
If you have a starting salary of $40,000 a year, how much debt should you really take on?
20 to 30 at the most.
Probably $30,000.
Okay. Was it worth it?
Jury's out. Probably.
A 2013 survey from Credit.com asked people, how much is too much? 11% said students should borrow as much as they want. 16% said anything above 20 grand was too high. The rest were in between.
Are most parents realistic?
I would say 50-50.
You're young, you're like 18, 19.
Are most kids realistic?
No.
Experts say a good benchmark, being able to pay off your loan within 4 to 10 years. Otherwise,
You can't buy a house, you can't buy a car.
and make sure your payments are less than 10 to 15% of your monthly income.
I think I got enough out of my education where I can validate the cost.
And though many high school seniors have no idea what their first job might be or how much it'll pay, Ramsdale says he reminds families to use common sense. The average starting salary for a college grad is $45,000 a year. If you have a good question for Heather, it's easy to get to her by going through WCCO.com/links.